What is up? Back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky weird wrestling world. As you can tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on Swerve Strickland from AEW, formerly WWE, and Lucha Underground. I'm sure a bunch of other wrestling promotions throughout his career as a professional wrestler. Before I share my thoughts and opinions, would love to know what yours are on Swerve down in the comments below. And when it comes to Swerve, I will be the first one to admit, one, I'm just strictly talking about the wrestler Swerve Strickland, not the human who portrays a wrestler, if that makes sense. And two, I know that there's people on here, whether here being social media, whether it's YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, other social media accounts, kind of deal, platforms, that are bigger fans, supporters, marks of Swerve Strickland than I am. Don't get me wrong, I like Swerve Strickland. I just will be one of the first ones to admit there are other people who like him a lot more, that would go out of their way to see him wrestle on TV, in person, meet him, whatever the case might be. When it comes to Swerve, first time I kind of heard about him was in Lucha Underground. I think it was Killshot, but I believe, if I remember right, he was under a mask. I'm not too familiar back in the day, 10 years ago, of Lucha Underground, and I'm even less familiar nowadays and whatnot. But that was the first time I kind of heard about Strickland. Then I really got to hear about him during his time in WWE, primarily in NXT. And I'm like, this guy at that time in NXT, what was it, Isaiah Swerve Strickland or Swerve Scott or something like that. I remember thinking, this guy has something. I don't know what that something is, but he has that. If I know he's wrestling on NXT, I'm going to do my best to watch it because he has that something. Unfortunately, it wasn't what I expected it to be at that time. Got let go, quit, fired, whatever the case might have been. And I think, hindsight being 2020, I think AEW is the perfect fit for Swerve Strickland, Isaiah Swerve Scott, whatever, Killshot, whatever the case might be, that you know him best as, because he seems like a better fit within the first 6 months of his time in AEW than his entire WWE career, both in developmental and on the main roster. For myself personally, he is a lot entertaining for myself. Like, he's one of the few people that I would, again, go out of my way to watch on AEW programming. I'm unable to watch Collision Rampage live legally because I don't have TSN Plus, which airs AEW Pro, like Rampage, Collision live kind of deal, or live to air and whatnot. But if I know that Swerve is going to be wrestling or appearing on either one, I'm going to check YouTube the next morning for clips online. Not a lot of other wrestlers within AEW or ROH I would do that for. He is really good in the ring. He's really good on the mic. For myself personally, I mean this in a good way, he is both a really good wrestler and a really good sports entertainer. Like, whatever he's doing on AEW, I am entertained by it, and I mean that in the best way possible. If I had to do a top 5 favorite AEW wrestlers right now, I mean this, no disrespect, he's not number 1. Hangman Adam Page is, but he is probably definitely in the top 3. I don't know for sure if he's number 2, but he's for sure either 2 or number 3 within AEW. And you can throw in ROH as well and whatnot. But yeah, he is one of those guys, one of my favorites, one of the ones that I don't want to say I would travel to see him wrestle. I would not go to Toronto to see AEW just to see Swerve Strickland, but I would go to Toronto to see Smash Wrestling if they had Swerve Strickland. Nothing against AEW, it's just I have more fun at those independent shows than I think I would at AEW and whatnot. But yeah, for myself personally, he is one of my favorites. He unlocked that something that I was kind of questioning about during his time in WWE. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions. Would love to know what yours are on Swerve Strickland down in the comments below. While you are down there, if you like this kind of content, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would genuinely mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.